So I found this copy of Guitar Hero 3. This is... Hey guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here. So today I have another video game pickup video for you. All of these items I scored at my local thrift store, and they were all scored for half off as they were running a sale. So of course I stopped in a few times this week, and I'm so glad that I did. So let's go ahead and check these out. So right away, I walk into this thrift store. I find tons of pretty awesome items. I usually see tons of Xbox 360s, Nintendo Wiis, just other video game consoles. Sometimes they're marked very high, and sometimes they're marked extremely low. Whenever they have them for great deals, I usually try and pick them up, and then I'll try and swap out and upgrade the quality on things in my collection. And then I'll usually trade them for some other things that I may need in my game room. So I got pretty lucky this week, and the past few times that I've been in there in some other videos, I usually tend to find some pretty awesome scores now. I found out that this particular store stocks several times a day, usually in the morning, throughout the day, and sometimes usually at the end. So depending on whichever time you stop in, you're bound to find something, and they're constantly getting new items in. So it's always better to just keep checking back, as the competition is actually pretty high in this area, and there are tons of people out there looking for deals on games, and usually they try and pick up the more expensive titles right away. But I got really lucky with these stacks right here. So of course we'll just start out with some PlayStation 2 and Nintendo Wii pickups. So these were actually all right on the shelf. This was at the beginning of the day when I checked this out. I scored this Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock. So this one has some classics in here. It says unleash your inner rock legend, and I remember playing this one growing up. I had so much fun playing it, and just all of these different songs in here that I just knew and loved from my childhood, and a lot of the songs I listen to still today. So this is pretty cool to add this one to the collection. And then on to this motorcycle. This is Harley Davidson. This is Race to the Rally. So I've never seen this game before. I didn't know anything about it, but I figured I would add it to the collection. It says stop dreaming and start riding. So it says rip up the highways and byways as you battle rival bikers across America in this heart-pounding thriller that only Harley Davidson can deliver. Hop aboard your favorite Harley Davidson motorcycle and see if you have what it takes to join the Brotherhood. So I thought this was a pretty neat little different game that I've never really seen before. And a fun fact, I actually have owned a Harley Davidson motorcycle before, and I actually really enjoyed it. So that is a fun fact about me. And then on to this Hypersonic Extreme featuring the exclusive track editor. So this game right here, I knew nothing about it. Kind of reminds me of one of those F-Zero style kind of extreme racers that's kind of more futuristic. Get ready to race like you've never raced before. Test your skills in futuristic anti-gravitational vehicles. Compete at impossible speeds on mind-bending anti-conventional racetracks. And if you don't like the track you're on, design your own. So this one looks pretty cool. It looks like a very creative style game, and I figured I'd try it out, as all of these games were just less than $1 as they were having everything half off. And then here we have this game. I loved playing these series growing up. I used to play these against my brother all the time. This is MX versus ATV Unleashed. So this one has everything also complete. This is a greatest hits version. This was such a great game. It says an off-road masterpiece. So here we have all kinds of different buggies and trucks, helicopters, everything else pictured on the back here. I just remember having a blast with all of these different vehicles on here, and it was a lot of fun. And then on to these Wii games. So these were also just right there. So I picked up 2 of these games. This is Active Personal Trainer EA Sports and Active 2 Personal Trainer compatible with the Wii Balance Board. So I figured I would get both of these, add them to my weight loss series, as it looks like all you need is a little leg band. So I wonder if I can go ahead and rig something up for this. So this shows a lot of people working out. There's some resistance bands. So maybe I will need to try and find some other parts, but I figured that they would be great for the workouts that I do while playing video games. And then on to this Phineas and Ferb game. This is Across the Second Dimension. So this was a cool little Disney series that they had, this little cartoon. It says team up to save the tri-state area, battle against Dr. D and his evil robots. And then of course there's Perry the Platypus on here. So this one looks like another little fun game, and it was one that I didn't have in the collection, so I figured I'd add it. And then on to some Iron Man. Of course it says Sega right there. So this game I was pretty excited to find. It says you are a one-man army, dynamic combat on open battlefields, fly into fury, airborne combat. Your suit is the ultimate weapon. So I'm not sure how this one will actually play, but it looks like it's pretty fun. And then on to some Samba Daymigo. So here, this is another Sega title. This is one that I was looking for on the Sega Dreamcast. I'm looking for that big bundle set that they have with all of the extras in that big box set. So this one says, a maraca shaking fiesta of fun. It's a party, grab your friends and shake the Wii controllers like maracas in a variety of crazy environments full of zany characters, with a lively samba-infused soundtrack packed with over 40 songs and additional downloadable tunes. Everyone will get their chance to shake, shake, shake it. So this one says keep the rhythm, dance, and this looks like one of those rhythm style games, so this will be pretty fun. Then on to some Knights. This is Journey of Dreams, another Sega game. So it was crazy that they had all of these together. Let your dreams be your guide. So I don't believe I've actually played this one. I love playing this one on the Sega Saturn. This was one of my all-time favorite games. I even have the Christmas version of Nights into Dreams that they have for the Japanese Sega Saturn. So this one is a great character right here. Just a really fun style game. Explore Knighttopias, amazing worlds, and find hidden areas with shape-shifting abilities. So this looks pretty cool. Then on to some Sim Animals Africa. Control the Wild Kingdom. And this one, it's like one of those sim style, simulation style games. And I usually just play some of the other sim style games. So this will be pretty fun. And then Star Wars The Clone Wars. So I didn't have this one in the collection. This one says the power of the lightsaber is in your hands. And then on to some Xbox and Xbox 360 games. So of course when I walked in one of the days, I actually looked over at the video games and I noticed that it was the same sports style games that they had as I picked up these games the day before. So of course the lady was like, I have tons of games on my cart over there if you want to go ahead and look at them first. So of course I see this big stack of all of these games on it, and I decided I would pick up all of them. So just some of the games here. We have this Xbox title. This is Medal of Honor Rising Sun. So I don't believe I have this one in the collection. Looked like everything was in here. It even has this extra little pamphlet in here as well. Everything looked like it was in very good shape. And then here we have this Medal of Honor Frontline. This one is the Platinum Hits version, all-out multiplayer warfare. So this one was another classic that I remember playing. I think I played this one on the GameCube growing up, and then I ended up switching over to all of these games on the original Xbox. And then on to some Dishonored, which I know I have not played this game. It says E3 2012 Game of Show, Game Informer, GameSpot, MSNBC. So that was all of the titles that it got. A city unlike any other, supernatural abilities, action with meaning, revenge solves everything. So this one is also complete. Of course it advertises Doom 3 in here, which is really cool. And this one actually looks like it has a reversible cover as well. So this is also pretty neat with this game case. And then on to some more Medal of Honor. We have Warfighter, Project Honor Edition. So this one is complete. It has a lot of different bonus items in here. So here we have all of this paperwork on the game, the codes and everything else. This is Medal of Honor Warfighter Project Honor Edition, Disc 1 multiplayer, Disc 2 single player campaign, and this one had a bonus documentary DVD. So this was a part of the, looks like, Walmart exclusive on the game. So this one still had all of the discs in here. There's 3 different ones. So this was pretty cool to find. And then on to the Sniper Ghost Warrior. Believe that I played some of the Sniper games. I think it was on the Xbox One. And I think I added that steelbook that they had, the little collector's edition. So this one's a pretty cool game. It says 1 shot, 1 kill as a Ghost Warrior, an elite sniper in a highly trained special ops unit. Your unique skills in the art of stalking, target detection, surveillance, and shooting accuracy will determine mission success. And then this game right here, these were always a lot of fun. I played a lot of these Midnight Club series games on the PlayStation 2. This is Los Angeles, and this case has definitely seen better days, but the disc and everything are in very good shape, so I'll just have to swap this out on one of the extra games that I may have somewhere in the collection. So it says the best way to see Los Angeles is at 245 miles per hour. So these were always fun games, and this one has a pretty cool cover on it with this glossy effect, so this is really cool. And then the Elder Scrolls V, we have Skyrim. So this one is another Xbox 360 title. This one also has a reversible cover, so that's pretty cool to see, with a lot of the scenery from the game. Epic Fantasy Reborn. Then on to some Forza. We have this Forza Motorsport 3. So this one says a lot of different things on here. It says Best of E3 winner, E3 09 Editor's Choice winner, and just a lot of reviews on the front right there. This one also comes with this pamphlet, some extra content. We have the Disc 1 play disc and this Disc 2 content install disc. So this is pretty cool, where dreams are driven. Then we have some Fallout 3. So it says prepare for the future. And this is also complete. All of these looked like they were in very great shape, minus that one game. And then we have some Resident Evil 5. So this great Capcom series. I love these Resident Evil games. They're always great. They're always so much fun to play. I've played most of them on the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 2, everything else. So this is pretty cool. It has this pretty great pamphlet in here, this little instruction guide. It has this full color, actions, controls, different characters and everything in here. So this is pretty neat. And then on to this large stack of games. We have Batman Arkham City, which I love these Batman games. They're so much fun. This is a 3D compatible game as well. And this is definitely pretty sweet to have all of this complete. Such a great game. This really awesome series. I love playing these Batman games as well. I own pretty much all of the collector's editions. And then Halo Reach, another great style game. So I love the whole entire Halo series. It looks like this one even has a couple instruction guides in it. So that is pretty crazy that they have 2. So this is jam-packed with all of this. Every legend has a beginning. And some Halo 4, another one in the series. This one also comes with some extra pamphlets, Disc 1 and Disc 2. And this also has some information, a safety guide on the other side of this little cover. And then some Dead Space 2. So this is a pretty scary style game. I remember playing a lot of these Dead Space games with some of my friends, and they always scared me. So this is pretty cool. I'm not sure if I played this one in particular, but it was either, it might have been the first one that I played. So this comes with 2 discs. So we have Disc 1 and Disc 2. And this is another great style game. Bring the Terror to Space. And it has all of these crazy looking characters, and it says wield devastating tools to dominate the alien outbreak. Then some Battlefield 3. This is the limited edition. It comes with some bonus items in here. Once again, it has a couple discs in here. This is disc 1, multiplayer co-op, and disc 2, single player campaign. Then some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. This one says, no one is better at delivering jaw-dropping action moments than Infinity Ward. So this one just has one disc in there. Some Gears of War 3. I love this series. I used to play these all the time. I love just everything about these games. The characters, the weapons, they're just so big, they're so bulky, they're so cool. And I even have a replica Lancer in my collection. So this is Gears of War 3, and it says the most influential franchise of this generation. And this even came with some stickers, so that's really cool. Then on to some Bioshock 2, another great series. Definitely a series that you should play. This is pretty awesome. This front cover has a lot of extra on here. It has this kind of shiny effect to it, and it looks like it's actually shattered right there like glass, so this is really cool. And then of course we have this instruction guide, all of these extra papers, the game disc, and this is pretty sweet. It says sequel to Game of the Year. Then on to some Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. So this one was another 2-disc, and it even came with this right here. So this is a little poster. So this is definitely pretty sweet. It looks like it is signed by some of the creators right here. So this is definitely pretty cool. And then on the back, it shows this overview map of the area that you will actually be in the game. So this is pretty awesome that it had all of this along with disc 1 and disc 2. This is the bonus content is included in here. And then on to all of these Fable games. So it actually had Fable The Lost Chapters. This is the Platinum Hits version on the original Xbox. I loved playing Fable. I loved how you could go ahead and either be good, be bad. It would affect the gameplay, it would affect the ending, and everything else. For every choice, a consequence. So of course I was always pretty good when I played these games the first time, and then I would go back through and then change it up and see how it would eventually affect the gameplay. So I always thought that was really cool with these games. And then on to Fable 2. This is another great game, and this is definitely pretty sweet. It says, who will you become? And then on to this Fable 3. It's a revolution. Live the epic adventure of a revolutionary leader, fighting alongside your people to seize the crown. Throughout your journey, actions you take will change the world around you for good or ill. Who will you become? The tyrant you rebelled against, or the greatest ruler to ever live? And then this one has everything, of course, in here as well. Then on to some more Assassin's Creed games. So here we have Assassin's Creed 3. This is the GameStop edition, which I believe I have some of these collector's editions in my collection. Disc 1 single player, and it has a second disc in here as well that's kind of hidden. So this is disc 2 multiplayer. So this is pretty sweet. Then on to Assassin's Creed Revelations. So these are all great games to play as well. Great series, really a lot of fun. 2 Assassins, 1 Destiny. Assassin's Creed 2. So here's another one with everything included. So this must have been someone's personal collection that they just donated everything. And the original Assassin's Creed. So this is another great game. Master the Art of the Kill. Then on to some Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. So this one is another great game to have in the collection. And then on to a couple of these Mass Effect games. So here we have this title. This is the first one with this really large instruction manual. This one is also another great series. Of course, I didn't like the newest game in the series. I liked Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. And I really enjoyed playing the multiplayer. As you could just go through and just battle it out with a lot of different characters. They have tons of different classes. I love all of the different enemies. There's so many crazy ones in there that are just so difficult to beat, and it really puts a challenge in here. Then on to Mass Effect 2. So this one is a 2-disc. So it says Disc 1, Disc 2. It says right here, Cerberus Network. You have this classification code on here, and then the instruction manual and some other inserts. They don't expect you to survive. Entire human colonies on many worlds are vanishing. As Commander Shepard, you must assemble the galaxy's deadliest team to save mankind against impossible odds. They call it a suicide mission. Prove them wrong. Then on to some Call of Duty Black Ops. So this one is also complete with the game. The best-selling franchise of all time on Xbox 360 returns. And then another Batman game. So here we have this Arkham Asylum. So this one was another great game. This one is really cool as well because it comes with this little comic book. So it says DC on here. It says Batman Arkham Asylum, The Road to Arkham. And this is really cool because it just has all of these cool designs and drawings and all of this information in here. So this is really cool. As a little bonus to this game. It says, welcome to the Madhouse. So along with these huge stacks of games here, I also decided to go through the toys section, and usually I go through the electronics section as well, as they just have a lot of stuff just all scattered around. So of course when I'm walking around through the electronics section, I see that they have this really cool Sonic the Hedgehog boombox, but I didn't want to pick it up because it looked like it was missing a little piece on the front, and I've never seen one of those before. I had a hard time finding it online as well, but then I did see that they do sell for a little bit, so maybe I should have picked it up or tried to see if the little piece was anywhere else around, but I just kind of passed over that. And then of course I found some other items just kind of scattered in the toy section. So the first day that I went, I saw this controller. This is for the original Xbox. It says Cowboys on it, so this is one of those NFL controllers, and it's just missing the little end piece, but I have tons of extras. So this is by Mad Catz, and it says all 32 NFL teams are available at madcats.com. So it was pretty crazy to me that they had this. All the sticks and buttons and everything are working very well. Usually when I find controllers at these places, they're all beat up, the little pieces are coming off, and they're just all sticky. Some of the buttons feel broken, but this one felt really good, and I didn't have this in the collection. I figured it was something different, and maybe it would work pretty well because everything was pretty on point with all the buttons and everything else, so I thought that was pretty cool. And it was half off, so I only paid a few dollars for it. And then I saw this kind of tucked away. So this I also paid a few dollars for. This is a Sega Genesis 3-button controller. It looked like it was in pretty good shape as well. Everything was on here. It didn't look like it was all scratched up. All of the buttons worked pretty well. And this is another thing that I almost missed out on, but I was so glad that I went through the toy section and I found it. And then this was definitely the score of the day. So right here, it says miscellaneous toy bags. It says one piece, and for $4.99, so I got this half off as well. I have these GunCon 2 controllers for the PlayStation 2. So it came with 2 of them, so I thought that was really cool. Everything appears to be here with the wires, all the buttons felt nice, and I just couldn't believe that I found these, and they just packaged them up like they're toys. So this was pretty sweet to find. So definitely every time I go in there now, I'm going to have to check that little section, because they're all kind of baggied up. There's tons of stuff mixed in there. There's Barbie dolls, there's toys. Sometimes you get lucky and find vintage toys. One of my buddies actually found this really cool Godzilla toy once, and just some old retro style toys. That's where I also found this pretty awesome vintage robot. It was the Armatron. I found that there as well. So every time I go in there, I just find something that I need and something that I just didn't expect to find. And then over on the one section, they had this, and this was actually sitting there for quite a while, but it was listed a little higher. Well, they ended up lowering the price, and then I got it for half off. So this was definitely pretty sweet. This is for Atari 2600 games. So pretty much it's this little booklet style, and then you open it up, and then there are tons of games that you can go ahead and store. And then it even included all of these manuals and everything. So I thought this was really cool, as it has 8 games in here. All the labels are in very great shape. They're actually better than some of my games. So I figured I would swap out some of the ones that I had, upgrade my games, and then either give away or trade some of the other games that are duplicates. So here we have this Pac-Man, and all of these just look great. I guess because they were protected in this case. We have this home run game, Space Invaders, another game program. This is combat, so it says tank, tank pong, invisible tank, biplane, jet fighter. And then we have this football game, Maze Craze, Asteroids, and Video Olympics. And they ended up marking this down even more, and then they had it half off for the sale. And I haven't seen one before, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then it even had a lot of these instruction manuals. So here we have Maze Craze. We have this combat. We have this little pamphlet. It says problems with your Atari video system. And it says Super Service comes through again for Atari Super Service. Call toll free. And then it has one for Asteroids, Space Invaders, even Pac-Man, and then we have Home Run and Football. And it even has these original old style receipts on here that you can barely make out what it says. So these were actually purchased on 4/18 of 82, and they paid cash, and it was $8.36. Thank you for shopping at Jefferson Ward. Please retain this slip. And then this one is a little bit harder to see, but it looked like this one was also purchased in 1982. So that is just so cool to see all of these old style receipts. And this looks like it must have been in someone's closet or basement or attic for the longest time, and they just went ahead and donated it. So this is definitely pretty cool, and it looks like they took very good shape of it. If they even saved the original receipts from 1982. So this is just so crazy, and I'm just so excited to add this to the collection, as I didn't have one of these game storage devices for the Atari 2600, and I didn't have some of the manuals for these games. So this is definitely pretty sweet, another great addition. And then I was actually walking down the aisle to the home section, and I saw this painting. So this is a pretty cool little canvas art style of Spider-Man, and this is just really neat. It has this little switch on the side where it actually lights up. So the batteries are a little bit old in this, so you can barely notice, but some of these little lights and stuff in the background actually will light up. So this is actually really cool, and once I get some new batteries for it, it's going to look great. I only paid a few dollars for it because it was also on sale, so I figured this would go great with something else that was actually given to me. So I'm actually really excited. So we'll just put this right here. So I actually had someone ask me if I liked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Of course, you may have seen in several other videos that I do collect them. I really actually prefer the older style Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I do have some of the newer figures. So this right here was actually donated to me, and it's just crazy because right at the same time that I got this, I saw this same style, this same brand, with the same exact backing, where you just put these batteries in here. There's a little switch on it, and it actually lights up in some of the areas on here. So it's actually pretty cool, and it looks great on display. So this is definitely pretty sweet. This will go great with this one as well. So this one says, "We are the Turtles of Justice." Of course, it has that newer style turtle on here, but I figured that this was a great way to go ahead and bring the old style and the new style in my collection together, and just have this on display upstairs along with the Spider-Man, as I do collect Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Spider-Man, Mortal Kombat, Batman, and just various other figures. So this is definitely pretty sweet, and it was given to me for free, so I figured I would definitely put it to some good use, add it in the game room upstairs and just really enjoy it. And then I was also given some stuffed animals that go along with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then someone actually gave me all of these stuffed animals as well. So these are all part of the newer Turtles. I figured that they would go great in the game room upstairs, that little toy room that I have with all of my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. And I just figured that this was so nice of them to do, and just to add this little canvas as well. It'll definitely bring together all of the new style and old style turtles. And I also really want some of those older style Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuffed animals, as I had some of those when I was a kid. Not exactly sure what happened to them, but I'd like to get those ones as well. So this is definitely a cool way to add some of the old with the new and just bring it all together. And they're all cleaned up and they'll look great in my collection, so I can't be any happier. Overall, I had a pretty great week of video game pickups and some new additions to the upstairs room, where I have a lot of my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Spider-Man, Batman, and Mortal Kombat items. So I got all of these items cleaned up, and I'll just have to put in some fresh batteries to those pictures because they do light up, and they will just look really great in the room upstairs. Just really add some more to those walls that are pretty bare at the moment. And then I just couldn't believe that I found all of those controllers just mixed in with some of those beat up old toys. And then I found those gun cons for the PlayStation 2. So for those light gun games, you just can never have too many of those. And then of course the Genesis controller, and then that original Xbox controller, which is the NFL style brand. And then that pretty awesome binder that has all of those Atari 2600 games with the manuals and the original receipt from 1982. It's just always a great time to see that. It's just really cool to have someone else's collection now add to my collection. And then all of these Xbox and Xbox 360 games, PlayStation 2 and Wii games are now going to look great in the collection. A lot of these are some of my favorite games that I loved playing. I mostly probably played them on the PlayStation 3. Some I may have played on the Xbox 360 if they are the exclusive ones to that system, but some of these I have not played and I would really like to enjoy them. So of course, let me know what you thought about this pickup. Did you like any of these items here? Do you actually own any of these items? And which games are some of your favorites and must-have series in a video game collection? So of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.